I think you guys will really like this one. So I ended up shorting SOUN today in front of my LPP team. And first off, well, let me share this. $5,000 is what I made, $5,070.52. I left myself with my one lucky share. I could have made so much more today. If you're part of LPP, feel free to rewatch today's live stream. Mistakes were made, and I could have taken profits every single time. Like, SOUN gapped up. I had a common resistance range of 1460. That's where I really opened up short, right around 1450. And man, I knew I should have taken profits. I didn't. It ripped back up. I opened short. It pulled back. I didn't take profits. It ripped back up. It went against me. It pulled back. I didn't take profits. And then ripped back up, got rejected, formed a lower high, finally sold off. I took profits. I made my $5,000. Great. With the dollar amount that I trade with, I could have made $10,000 plus, no question about it. Every single one of these retracements, it might not seem like much, but from highs to lows, I would have never caught the full thing, but that's a 5.6% move. I would have caught 3% of that. From highs to lows here, 3.7% move. I would have caught 2% of that. From overall highs to lows here, I would have caught 2% of the 4%. And then on this big one, from overall highs to low, which is the one that I did end up catching, 9%, I would have caught maybe 5% of that. Nonetheless, I'm grateful for the $5,000. I'm never here to complain about that. But again, even on my green days, one thing that I'll always do is I always look back and be like, hey, what could I have done better? SOUN, again, has been incredibly bearish in recent timeframes because of how incredibly manipulated and pumped it was, right? Went from $3 all the way to highs of $25. We called it an overhyped piece of shit AI company. And it's been working really well with us in the sense that its true direction is bearish. All you need to do is wait for it to pump, become extremely overbought, and then short the retracements. Now that we did our part, I want to see kind of where it goes from here. Is it going to form a lower high and continue its sell-off, break below support, and continue to retrace down to $12.50 and make new lows? Or is it going to find its support here, try to recover up to highs of $15 again, and maybe make new highs, right? So I'm really excited. As you guys can see, my position is closed. I don't care for it as of right now. The next position that I opened was on MSTR. And I just opened up this short position. I just announced it to my LPP team, and I'd love to share it with you guys even before it turns out according to plan. As you guys can see, I'm currently down about $800. My average purchase price is $361, which is right around this general area. So again, it's not a great entry, nothing like that. There's nothing special about it. It's an overbought stock, in my opinion, that has decent pullback potential. I'm waiting for confirmation so then I can add more to my short as direction becomes favorable. If it makes new highs, I'll close out my short, accepting that, hey, this thing is still bullish. I need to respect the trend, and I close out my trade. But overall, why is this thing something that's worth it for me? Well, for my average purchase price, what's my risk potential? If it continues to go up, it's less than 1%. I can manage risk at less than 1%. And if it goes according to plan, best case scenario based off of recent patterns, it's a 4%. So it's a 4-to-1 ratio. And in my opinion, that's a very favorable position to be in, meaning that there's 4% of downside because I'm shorting for 1% of potential upside. Now, again, my job is to manage risk. My job is not to avoid it. Not one trade I ever take is going to be perfect, but I love to show you trades like this before they actually happen, because even if I do end up having to cut losses, I'll accept the loss, right? But if it does go according to plan, I'd love to show it to you guys because, again, it's kind of being able to see what can be based off of what is currently presenting itself. It's not rocket science. It's not overcomplicating it. It's really just understanding that, hey, MSTR went from lows of $300 and it tends to have a common resistance right around, the highs of 370, 400. And if you look at BTC is a little bit more on the overbought side. And if BTC begins to pull on back, as it tends to, it doesn't always have to. And obviously with Trump being inaugurated in just a few days, there could be a lot of hype that could push markets higher, which is again, why I would have to manage risk on MSTR, but I love sharing these ideas with you guys because I don't expect to be right every single time. It's just, I like to express my why. And there's huge pullback potential. You can obviously see that we've retraced to lows of 97,000. And if that's the case, once again, once Bitcoin begins to retrace, what do you think is going to happen with MSTR? Then this thing will begin to retrace back down to lows of 345, making me money as MSTR sells off. You identify an opportunity, you create a trade plan, you make sure that it aligns with your risk to reward ratio, my 4-to-1 ratio there. And once that confirmation is met, you choose to take action, and then you manage risk if it goes south, or you take profits if it goes according to plan. How beautiful is that, right? And that's exactly what I try to do every single day in front of my LPP team, right? They got to see me open up my short position on SOUN today, and we had so much fun. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys have seen me post all the different people that are part of our LPP team that are really enjoying this process of shorting MSTR, shorting SOUN, but also going long on it when those stocks are oversold, right? So obviously these stocks are incredibly risky. They're very volatile, and our job is to respect them by managing our position size and managing that risk. If you ever want to learn more about it, you don't have to, but if you want to, second link in the description down below. You can sign up right now and watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. There's a huge sale going on right now. So whenever it is that you feel like you are ready to join our team, second link down below, and I'll see you tomorrow at Market Open for our live trading session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.